What's up, local juggalos and juggalettes? I would like to speak on the matter of a legend. And speaking of legends, rest in peace, Adam West. But moving on, I'd like to speak on a legend of the underground that kind of don't really get much recognition. And that just something I was thinking about, and that's about scraps. Not to be confused with the other Scraps. There's a rapper in London, I think, that's named Scraps. There's another one out there. No, I'm talking about these Scraps from Detroit, born in '78. That Scraps. He started off pretty early, to say the least. Started off in '96, well '95, and he hooked up with Blaze, your dead homie. And y'all probably know this, but they had a little group called what the hell was that? Two Crazy Devils. And Scraps at that time was named Crazy, and Blaze, your dead homie at that time was named Psycho C. And they only dropped one album, Flipped Insanity. It was in '96-ish, I believe. I think they actually dropped it right when they was splitting up for the most part. And Blaze moved on, did his own thing. And then Scraps hooked up with The Rock, ROC, in '99. And ROC was going by Soul 46 then. He switched his name over. And he hooked up with him to help complete the last House of Crazies album. I spoke of this before a while ago. And it was the night they came home. So they dropped that, and then once they get out, the ROC gets out of the record contract obligation type deal. They created Virus Independent, the record label, and within this record label they started Halfbreed. And Halfbreed dropped 2 albums. Well, no, it was 3 or 4 or whatever, because they dropped a compilation too, I believe, or whatever. But they dropped 2 initially, which one was Contamination. They dropped that in 2000. Early 2000 or whatever, mid 2000. And then they dropped Serial Killers, and also in 2000. That was like late 2000, of course, etc., etc., etc. Then Scraps and the ROC hook up with, I believe it was their business partners or whatever, Mr. Freeze, and Yak, I think his name was, Uke, something like that. And they form a group called Level Jumpers. And Level Jumpers released 2 albums, I believe. One was Simply Complexed, and that was 2001. And it consists of Soul 46, The Rock, Scraps, and Freeze. And then they released Red Pyramid, and this was in 2002. And then late 2002, Halfbreed, Soul 46, The Rock, and Scraps or whatever, they released what was it? The End, I think it was, towards the end of that year. And then everybody in that frame, right, or whatever, they all split up, because they all wanted to do their own thing. They all wanted a certain sound, etc., etc. So, of course, Rock moved on to Psychopathic or whatever. And, I'm not sure what happened to Froze and his brother. But Scraps actually does solo shit. I don't think he's done nothing for a minute. I think, well, we'll get into that. He went solo, and the first album he come out was the 12-Step Program. This was 2005. Which ain't too bad. It's pretty fresh, actually. And then in 2012, I believe, he come out with Way Better Than You. Well, Way Better Than You. And, you know, it ain't too bad. But my thing is, look at that resume. Whew. That's impressive. Like, he worked with Blaze, he worked with The Rock. You know, they started their own fucking record label for a while there. It did very well, because Halfbreed was fucking quite popular back then. Yeah, so I just always wondered, I was wondering, like, it would be kind of fucking slick for him to do a collaboration with somebody. Rather it's ICP, or The Rock. Hook back up with The Rock and do a House of Crazies, or another Halfbreed type album. Which I don't know if they could do a House of Crazies, probably still under copyright bullshit of the first album record label they was a part of. But either way, that's fucking impressive though. Like when you look at that, the whole fucking his history of what he's done and what he's accomplished, and can't help to think. I wonder why Magic Ninja maybe they fucking put their hand out to him, because I don't know. It's very hard to find information on this dude too, unless you're like a fanatic of scraps. It's really hard to find. Well, at least with my search engine, because you know I search through a phone, so it's not as in depth sometimes. But from what I found, it's hard to find really too much information on this dude. It don't seem like he really does interviews, because I ain't really found none of those. I ain't really like looked all crazy. Like I found all the information, like his resume for the most part it is fucking spectacular, and I would really love to see him do something with somebody. You know, go back to that crazy shit. I know he wants to do his own thing now, but I like to see him drop another album of that wicked shit. You know, that'd be fucking fresh. Do something with like fucking a collaboration with Isham or something. That'd be fucking sick. But yeah, I hope you learned something if you didn't know all that. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do. No, I ain't gonna insult your intelligence. I just bring it up because it's impressive, like, all the things he's done. And no one really talks about the dude. Like, he's an unsung hero of the horrorcore underground. And he set a lot of foundation. You know, he's like almost NWA status of underground. You know, type deal. Which, different fucking genre, of course. But it's just, it seems like he's underappreciated. That's what it seems like. But yeah, check him out, man. Check out Scrap's albums and shit. The 12-Step Program is pretty fucking fresh. There's some pretty good bangers in there or whatever. If you haven't, and Way Better Than You. It's worth looking at, you know. He's a pretty good fucking artist. And I mean, if you haven't heard Halfbreed, I don't know what to fucking tell you, but if you haven't, check them out, because them fucking albums are fresh as hell, of course. Oh, and a little funny thing, which brought up this memory, when they's doing Two Crazy Devils, on the song Flipped Insanity, actually, Blaze Your Dead Homie talks about, I'm going to be coming after you, and I don't need clown makeup on, because this ain't no Carnival of Carnage, or something like this. This ain't no carnival. That's what it was. So it seems funny, and you got The Rock dissing ICP, and Twisted over the years sneak dissing them, and Blaze fucking straight dissing them in his own way. And look, they all just turned their back on him. So that's what makes it hard for me to believe that whole they was getting done wrong, because just more and more keeps on piling up, and a lot of people ignore it. But I ain't gonna make a whole video about it. I just found it interesting. But yeah, Scraps, man, check them out. Fucking support the motherfucker and show that motherfucker some love, because he deserves it, for real. Besides just Halfbreed, fucking go check out his solo shit, Either way, I ain't gonna keep you. Much kind of love. I hope you enjoyed the shit. Whoop whoop, motherfuckers.